everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Fasten your seatbelts for one of the great divisional rivalries in the NFL. This is the first of two games between these teams this year, and you know it's going to be entertaining. It's the Packers going up against the Vikings. With that, let's send it out to our broadcast team. Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with this Week 2 matchup.
Larry, in 2 years' time, it will host Super Bowl 52. You get a look inside the impressive new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
Peterson alone in the backfield. Bradford now to throw on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Play action for Peterson. Now here's Bradford. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. On the tackle there, the rookie Kenny Clark. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Clinton Dix attracted a lot of attention when he was about to enter the NFL for his ability to play the football in the air. He's actually shown that he can tackle pretty well in the league, too.
Again, Peterson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Still 9 yards to go on third down. Bradford off the play fake to Peterson. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, they're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. The ball carrier there, Adrian Peterson, he turned 31 back in March.
But after his return from knee surgery a few years ago, that incredible return, I don't think we look at his number the same way as we do a lot of running backs who turn 30.
Yeah, I agree. And right now, standing 17th all time in the NFL rushing ranks. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the two-time MVP in his 12th year now in the green and gold, Aaron Rodgers.
And a prime candidate to be a three-time MVP. Hard to believe he threw 31 touchdown passes and 8 interceptions in 2015.
Didn't get it.
And we heard criticism, right? We heard people talk about how his game had slipped a little bit. All he needs is just a little more motivation. Look out for Aaron Rodgers in 2016. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They run it again with Lacy. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Jared Cook, his first touchdown in green and gold. And the Packers have taken the early lead. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. 1 quarter down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football as they take over here 1st and 10. They start the drive with Peterson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They run again with Peterson. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
A play fake. Bradford. He's got time in the pocket. Great protection. Looking deep downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage. We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check his...
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him with his first sack of 2016. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Packers get set to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Well, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. On second down, Lacey. And he's going to be taken. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Third down now following the run. On third and long, it's Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now the second-year man from Buffalo, Jake Shum, on to punt. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's a big play that time for the Packers. And even 40 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And he finds Cook. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And quickly, they get to the line. Rodgers now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And again, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Jeff Janis, the one he was looking for. And it's second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. His throw caught right around the 6. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Rodgers to throw once more. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams as the first half is winding down. And the Packers add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this will be a touchback, and as we saw in week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest as we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Vikings are on the bad end of things right now after 2 quarters. The Packers just need to do more of the same as they're continuing to play well after last week's win. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Vikings heading out on their opening drive. Patterson's able to get open here, and he ends up at the 39-yard line before he stopped on the play. They would go on to kick a field goal and put 3 points on the board. 3rd down from the 34. Here we get a quick pass and completion, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. The lead grows to 4. Now 1st and 10, the hurry throw would be picked off. Ryans is the one who makes the pick, halting the offense's drive. Offense out now following the interception. Quick pass and catch by Adams. And he caps off the 7-play drive with a score. Packers push their lead to 11.
All right, Larry, these 2 teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. Look at the spin. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They start the second half with Lacey. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. They come out here in the eye. Following the penalty now, Lacey. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners, keep moving it, keep grinding clock. Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Now a first down carry. It's Lacey. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter, because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Hold them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
So on the toss, here's Lacey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be third down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on third down and 9. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They'll run it with Lacey. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guys at the cornerback position.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And Crosby puts it through, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. And Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And he's back here in the struggle department in this one like he was a week ago. And, partner, I think you can pin some of this on that O-line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bradford, and that is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Jeff Locke now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 22. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Marching back out there ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And they did well down near the goal line last time, forcing him to settle for a short field goal.
And in today's day and age, settling for a field goal of that distance is amazing. You can get 3 points now, where it's going to give you only 1 point for the extra point, which would be a little bit longer. But they have to feel fantastic about only giving up 3 in that situation. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah, it could have. Now can they carry that over? And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a 2nd game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if it's the game plan or if they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
The play clock's running down. Now it's Rodgers. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
This will be fielded at the 17. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, The punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good start there on first down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Bradford, and he's able to find Diggs. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So he makes the grab and the change move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
First down, Bradford over the middle here to Rudolph. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt.
Now the ball comes loose. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. One back is Lacey. Rodgers looking to throw. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And able to break. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Rodgers to throw on second down. Nelson's got it here right side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They stay on the ground on first down with Lacey. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now a pitch out to Lacey. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on third.
Playing coverage here.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Crosby puts it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And the offense moving quickly to the line. This one a special game as we got to help christen U.S. Bank Stadium. Unfortunately, though, for the Vikings and their home faithful, this sellout crowd, they start 0-1 at home.
And that's always disappointing because the buildup has been intense and sustained. They've been waiting for a few years to get back into their own home. And now the loss takes a little bit of the air out of it, but it's still a long season ahead.
So for the Packers, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this